What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today's news is that Dmitry Bivol is officially back in training after his back surgery, as the possible trilogy fight with Artur Beterbiev approaches two elite light heavyweights, two previous battles, a rivalry built on razor-thin margins and competitive fire now heads toward a third chapter.
Good. One more. Hey.
Dmitry Bivol has been relatively quiet since his second fight with Artur Beterbiev, a battle that showed just how evenly matched they are. Now the silence is over. Bivol is back in the gym, back to business, and in the mindset that made him one of this generation's most disciplined fighters. His camp's message is clear. He's committed, motivated, and understands what needs to be done. Unlike the first battle's uncertainty and the second's modifications, this third fight has complete clarity. He recognizes the power, tempo, and maneuvers that succeeded or failed. Experience and realism drive his comeback.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Halfway. Yes, 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 yes. 10 seconds. Yes, 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 yes. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Trilogies in boxing are rare, and great ones even rarer, but this one stands out because of the contrast in personalities and styles. While Dmitry gives accuracy, discipline, a high IQ, and technical expertise, Artur Beterbiev brings pressure, power, and controlled destruction. Fans were divided after their first two meetings, with some applauding Bivol's command and others Beterbiev's influence. Every battle changed course, exposing advantages and disadvantages and igniting further discussions. This trilogy is important because it seeks clarity, definitive solutions, and the legitimate light heavyweight throne. But for now, the focus is on Bivol, the challenger aiming to rewrite the rivalry forward. Most importantly, strength and conditioning is the backbone of his early training phase, and this makes perfect sense. It's not just about time and skill against Beterbiev, it's also about having the physical stamina to endure pressure, keep moving, and carry out a strategy without faltering. Bivol is the only one who perceives that Beterbiev tests both the body and the will. These initial weeks restore his motor, hone his explosiveness, fortify his body, and make sure his body can withstand all demands when tactical work starts. It's refinement, strengthening, fortifying, and conditioning the warrior to carry out the plan. Furthermore, the relationship between Bivol and his staff, who are all aware of how intimate and significant this trilogy is one of the most significant aspects of this camp. The communication can be especially noteworthy. This is a cooperative camp rather than a one-way flow of orders. While providing thoughtful comments on focus, risks, and important alterations, they are listening to Bivol and asking him about his feelings, observations, and areas for improvement. No coach or analyst comprehends Beterbiev as well as Bivol does after two wars. Thus, this communication is crucial. His viewpoint influences the strategy, and it is the team's duty to hone and organize it such that each move on fight night feels instinctive, planned, and intentional. Going deep into this early days training, without a doubt, Dmitry Bivol wants to win this competition. He wants to win, not merely compete or show that he belongs. He wants the trilogy to conclude without uncertainty, debate, or what-if discussions. The stakes have never been higher for him, and he is approaching this camp with the intensity of a warrior who knows exactly what's at stake. After two bouts, he is aware of his areas for improvement, Beterbiev's threats, and opportunities to take advantage of. This is calculation, not speculation, and he is more confident than ever in his abilities. Moreover, Dmitry's early camp also includes focused heavy bag training alongside his strength and conditioning work. He's treating the heavy bag with the same seriousness he brings to every detail of this trilogy buildup, using each session to reinforce power, precision, and sustained output. Through these exercises, he improves his execution, strengthens his shoulders, and cultivates the steady punch rhythm required for handling Beterbiev's pressure. He is able to enhance his durability, balance, and impact effectiveness with a heavy bag, qualities he plans to use on fight night. Each blow is planned, laying the technical groundwork he'll need for their next encounter. On the other hand, after the cancellation of his fight with Dion Nicholson, Artur Beterbiev's interest in a possible trilogy has intensified in a way that is impossible to ignore. Instead of slowing down or stepping away to reassess his plans, he has doubled his commitment and sharpened his focus. The disappointment of losing a scheduled bout has only fed his competitive drive, making the idea of a trilogy more appealing and urgent. Every comment from his team, every clip from his camp, and every observation from those around him suggests that Beterbiev sees something bigger on the horizon, an opportunity he refuses to let slip. That determination shows most clearly in the gym, where Beterbiev has been training with even greater intensity. Despite the sudden gap in his schedule, fighters often take time to recalibrate after a fight falls through, but Beterbiev's reaction has been the opposite. Longer sessions, more precise drills, and a fresh emphasis on the foundations have all been welcomed by him. He arrives early, stays late, and approaches each round with a feeling of purpose, according to his trainers, who have praised his passion and attention to detail. This regular attendance, even in the absence of a set date, indicates that his goals go much beyond standard preparedness.
У меня сегодня свои 12 раундов были. Один раунд 3 минуты квалда, 100 ударов минимум в 3 минутки, и бой с теннис гантелями. И в общем 12 раундов. Попробуйте, мне понравилось.
Overall, every move the man makes in camp is a reflection of his preparation for something important. Beterbiev appears committed to being fully prepared for his next battle, whether it be a trilogy or not, and he won't let any flaw or weakness in his skill set go unnoticed. His conditioning is continuous, his sparring is purposeful, and his mentality is more acute than before. He acknowledges that at this point in his career, opportunities are valuable, and that losing even one could have a profound impact. His focus and consistency are fueled by this knowledge, creating a camp that resembles preparation for a pivotal moment rather than a standard tune-up. Beterbiev evidently wants to be ready for whatever unfolds next, and it is certain to be dangerous. Moving forward, let's see what happened in their first fight and what were the reactions of pros to that fight. So, on the 12th of October 2024, Artur Beterbiev outboxed Dmitry Bivol, controlling power shots and pace. After 12 rounds, Beterbiev won via majority decision, showing skill and resilience. First of all, Teddy Atlas marked the winner as the rightly announced victor of the first fight. He said that without a doubt, the fight showcased the resilience of both fighters. Both entered the ring full of energy and demonstrated great heart throughout the bout. However, it was Artur who secured the important rounds, and in Atlas's opinion, announcing him the winner was the correct decision. Overall, the match highlighted the determination, skill, and competitive spirit of both athletes, but Artur's ability to dominate key moments ultimately justified the result and earned him the deserved victory.
Close fight, a lot of close rounds. I can see why they're conflicted. I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to judge anyone. I judge the fight though, but I won't judge anyone because it's subjective in certain ways. I can see that there's two ways to look at it. There's two fighters. It was a close fight, a lot of close rounds. I had it 115-113 Beterbiev. Yeah, because I thought he won the championship rounds. I thought it was a really, really tight, close fight.
However, Roy Jones Jr. was very confident that something unfair had occurred in the first fight results. He declared that, in his opinion, the results did not clearly reflect the story of the match. Bivol performed extremely well, displaying several good qualities in the ring. However, Jones Jr. stressed the importance of a rematch. He acknowledged that both combatants gave it their all to win, but overall, he admired the competitiveness. He complimented both athletes' skill, tenacity, and effort throughout the fight, despite his doubts about the result.
You know, what happens, happens. However it goes, nobody won nor lost the fight by 4 points. So that's ridiculous, which is why I say we need an immediate rematch. Both guys did a lot to change. Beterbiev showed me more than he's ever shown me before about being a boxer. He actually can box, and I was surprised. Bivol was a very good defender, which we knew. He was a good counterpuncher, which we knew. He jumped out to the early lead, I thought, but you know, we never know. But however it comes down, Beterbiev did finish the fight strong or stronger. So that's why I think, in my point of view, the fight should be a draw. And let's get a rematch.
On the other hand, Amir Khan also seemed pleased by the competitive nature of the first fight. He highlighted that competitions like this are the main reason people love boxing. After witnessing such a thrilling contest, Khan stressed that it creates a strong urge to see a rematch. However, while reacting to the decision, he mentioned that declaring the fight a draw would have been more justified. Nevertheless, when it comes to announcing a winner, he acknowledged that Beterbiev deserved it. Overall, Khan underlined both fighters' enthusiasm, talent, and tenacity throughout the battle.
Listen, what a fight that was, honestly. When it comes down to a fight, that was one of the best fights. Toe-to-toe, both fighters were the best they could be. You can see they were both ready. Unfortunately, there had to be a loser in there, and in my opinion, it would have been a good draw. But yeah, I did lean more towards Artur by when I watched the fight that he won the fight, maybe by 1 or 2 rounds. Yeah.
Carl Froch, while reacting to the second fight results, expressed full satisfaction. He hailed Dmitry as the fighter appeared totally different from the first fight. Froch stated that changes were required for Bivol to win, and he did exactly that. The way Bivol showed up on fight night was energetic and impressive. Froch believed that Bivol deserved the victory because of what he did, which showed skill, persistence, and plan throughout the fight. Even if it was once again a close fight between them, and both fighters made a strong effort to win.
And Bivol came into this fight knowing that he had to do more. He knew where he went wrong in the first one. He took his foot off the gas in the end, whether he was tired, whether he was fatigued, or whether he just thought he'd done enough to win, and it was close, and he just didn't want to take a gamble, didn't want to risk it against the monster puncher that Beterbiev is. So, you know, this one, he came in with a purpose. He came in like a man on a mission. He knew he had to finish strong. And to be honest, he didn't just finish strong, he started strong. The fight was close. It ebbed and flowed, and there was punches, big punches landing from both men all the way through. But my scorecard had it: Beterbiev 5 rounds, Bivol 6 rounds, with the first round even.
Another significant figure, Teddy Atlas, like Carl Froch, also appreciated the way Dmitry approached the second fight. He pointed out that Bivol is the kind of fighter who does not allow himself to stay in low moments. Atlas admitted he was really disappointed by the first fight. On fight night, Bivol not only utilized his skills and executed his game plan effectively, but he also capitalized on Beterbiev's weaknesses, turning them to his advantage. In general, both analysts and fans praised him for his tactics, determination, and flexibility, which indicated why he did much better in the rematch.
The difference was this: he knew he could do it. He knew he could live with the boogeyman. The confidence, the belief, the answers to the question. That was the biggest difference. And it showed. For me, it showed. And that's why I was very confident saying Bivol was going to win the fight, because I really believed he was going to be a little better in that area. And he was. And maybe Father Time was part of it, whatever. But you know what he didn't let Beterbiev do? One of his strengths? Nobody... He didn't let him. He didn't let him get inside and set up shop. He didn't let him set up shop.
However, after the defeat, Artur Beterbiev's coach, John Scully, dissected the rematch. He mentioned that they had made certain changes compared to the first fight. Unfortunately, those changes did not go the way they had hoped overall. It was a strong performance that showed skill and strategy, but Dmitry's performance in the later rounds was particularly strong, giving him a well-earned and hard-fought victory. The conclusion revealed Dmitry's toughness and technical execution, even if the changes were meant to tip the scales in their favor. Despite the loss, there were positive takeaways from the effort and performance.
The start, Artur came out really quick. That was a change to the first fight where he seemed to gradually get into the fight. Was that part of the game plan?
Yeah, we felt like we needed to start a little quicker this time, because last time we had a great finish, but a lot of people thought it wasn't enough. So we wanted to start a little quicker, and I thought, especially the first half of the fight, I thought it was working very, very well. You know, at one point, maybe the 7th round, give or take, I thought Artur took a round off and Dmitry got back in, and I think his confidence went up at that point, and the fight kind of changed at that point for several rounds.
Additionally, Bazi Ennis, who was rooting for Bivol in both of his fights against Beterbiev, was quite happy after he secured victory in the rematch. He underlined that Bivol achieved what he could not in the first meeting. Like others, Ennis also noted that it was a close fight, one that could have gone in favor of either fighter. However, he particularly appreciated Bivol's movement and punching in the second fight, which he identified as the main reason for his victory.
Decisive. Well, to me, the fight was almost similar to the first fight. You know what I mean? But he was letting his hands go a little bit more, to me. Bivol was throwing them combinations and moving, and he was looking sharp, man. You know what I mean? But you can't take him from Beterbiev. He kept that pressure, man, and letting his hands go, man. So, you know, it was a close fight, though. I mean, Bivol won. You know, Bivol won, you know.
Considering all these things, these two warriors are expected to compete in a close, thrilling, and highly anticipated third fight. It is challenging to predict a clear winner because both athletes have demonstrated their strategic flexibility in prior fights. Fans will be on the edge of their seats as each round might swing in any direction due to their different approaches and adjustments in previous battles. With a track record of fierce rivalry, superior technique, and explosive energy, this possible trilogy would highlight both physical prowess and mental toughness. For boxing fans, it would be a must-watch spectacle since every punch, move, and tactical choice would matter. In short, Dmitry's return to training has the boxing community in a frenzy. Over the past few months, fans have been demanding to see a third fight between these two fighters, and seeing both sportsmen in their respective training camps has finally generated interest. Worldwide supporters of Artur are optimistic that he will perform as well as he did in the opening bout and win the series. However, Bivol's supporters predict that he will build on his rematch triumph and win the third bout, winning the series at 2. The excitement for this intriguing match is at an all-time high as both boxers are completely prepared. In the end, what do you think? Should this trilogy happen or not? If not, who do you think would make ideal opponents for both fighters? And if you support the idea of seeing them face each other for a third time, who would you back in this fight? Drop your predictions and reasons in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as your support means the world to us. It motivates us to cover every boxing update. Stay tuned for more exciting news and analysis from the boxing world.